In the autumn of 1834, Father Elias Woodridge arrived at the village of Elderbrook, a forgotten hamlet hidden deep within the moors of northern England. The mist rolled thick over the cobbled streets, and crows circled above, as if watching over secrets long buried. He had been summoned to oversee a remote convent called St. Addelyn's Rest, which had not sent correspondence to the church in over 20 years. The villagers were wary of strangers, and warned him in hushed voices to stay away from the convent. "They don't speak," said an old woman, her voice trembling. "They only chant when the mood is full." Part 2. St. Addelyn's Rest. Father Elias took no heed of the warnings. Curiosity and duty outweighed fear. The convent stood at the edge of a decaying forest. Its black stone walls were overgrown with ivy, and the air around it felt unnaturally cold. The nuns greeted him in silence. They wore veils that covered their faces completely, and none met his eyes. The Mother Superior, Sister Malva, finally approached him. She did not speak but handed him a journal bound in human skin. Part 3. The Journal. Late into the night, Father Elias read the journal by candlelight. It chronicled strange events, unholy rituals, nightly processions under blood moons, and the sudden disappearance of novices. One passage struck him deeply. "On the 66th moon, the hollow saint will rise, and tongues shall fall silent." The next day, he found a sealed cellar beneath the chapel. The door was reinforced with iron symbols and wax seals, long melted. Scratched into the stone was a phrase in Latin: "Sicut in inferno, sic in terra." As in hell, so on earth. Part 4. Whispers in the Walls. Elias began to hear faint murmurs within the convent walls. Whispers that mirrored his thoughts before he could speak them aloud. He saw shadows flit across the stained glass windows during evening prayers, and the faces of the saints seemed to shift when he passed. He confronted Sister Malva, but she only handed him a single page torn from the journal. It read, "He who listens will join the chorus." That night, he dreamed of a faceless congregation chanting in a dead language. When he awoke, his ears bled. Part 5. The Full Moon. On the night of the full moon, the nuns gathered in the courtyard, encircling a pit that Elias had never noticed before. They began to chant, a deep, droning sound that shook the very ground. The sky turned crimson. In the center of the pit rose a figure wrapped in funeral cloth, with no face and too many hands. The hollow saint. Elias tried to shout, to call for God's mercy, but no sound escaped him. His voice had been taken. Part 6. The Price of Silence. He fled to the chapel, seeking refuge, but the altar had split open. From it rose a black mist that spoke in thousands of whispers. They told him the truth. The convent had made a pact centuries ago to protect the village in exchange for silence. Not speechless silence, but a sacrifice of voice, of truth, of soul. The hollow saint did not feast on flesh. It feasted on expression, on stories, on the very essence of being. Elias' final entry in the journal read only, "I write because I cannot speak. If you find this, bury it. Burn it. Forget it. Or he will come for you next." Epilogue. Elderbrook today. No one speaks of Elderbrook anymore. Maps do not show its name. The convent stands silent, its doors sealed, but sometimes, under a crimson moon, a low chant echoes through the moors, and travelers hear whispers in their heads, urging them to stop, to listen, to join. And if they do, they are never heard from again.